Welcome to Books on the New Rich, the podcast where we do a deep dive into the power of storytelling, how to promote and market your brilliance in the creative sector, and most importantly, how to live the life you want built on your own story. Today, we are here with Kazmere Duffey. She's a new author, but she has a book that I'm so excited about, and I can't wait for her to share it with you. Welcome to Books on the New Rich.
Thank you, April.
So, tell everybody a little bit about yourself. How did you get started?
So my name is Kashmir. I'm originally from California and currently residing in New Mexico. My journey to journaling started when I moved to New Mexico. I moved here with no family, no friends. I felt really isolated. I was just down in the dumps and I had started journaling to pull myself out. So that's how I got started.
Nice, nice. And in terms of evolving into where you are now in this form of authorship, what are your goals?
My goals are really just to let people know that they do have a choice to become resilient.
And are you drawing from something personally where maybe in the past you have struggled with resilience a little bit?
I'm drawing from people always calling on me and asking me to help them when they're in the middle of chaos.
Yeah.
And at that time, I'm like, hold on, I'm in the middle of chaos myself. I'm trying to survive chaos myself. What do you see in me that you think I can help you right now? And when I asked that question, like, well, what makes you think that I can help you? They will mention my accolades. And I thought, you know what? You only paid attention to the accolades and not how I got there. It was very chaotic. I was very stressed. For example, getting my master's. Yeah. Girl, I got my master's, all right. But I didn't know if I was going to be able to graduate. My theory, it was not, I'm moving my words, y'all. But my capstone, I didn't pass it, and I had to take it again, and I was very discouraged. So yes, I did, and at the end of the day, get my master's, but the journey was rough. So.
Where did you find the strength from? Is it just some family members or just some struggle? You're like, I have to just pull myself through this. Where did your resilience come?
First, it comes from God, knowing that if He brought you to it, He will bring you through it. And then definitely having supportive family and friends, people calling on me, checking on me, and just really encouraging me with Bible scriptures and prayer.
Wow. Would you say that you've always been faith-based? Like, did you grow up in the church? Did you come from a faith-based family?
Yeah. Oh, yes. Yes, absolutely. So actually my current pastor in Los Angeles, she is actually my cousin. And the name of that church is Bethany Prayer Temple. And that's why I rely on prayer because we have always been taught pray, 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 pray. Yeah. So yes.
So when did you release the book officially?
So I released the book for my 30th birthday. I wanted to enter into a new decade just feeling like I am ready for whatever the world brings me, for whatever God is going to put me through. So it started off as a testimony and just encouragement for myself, something to always be able to look back on, like, look, girl, look what God brought you through. Yeah. He can do it again. And then also, like I mentioned earlier, people calling on me, right? So you don't have to call on me no more. You can get your book, listen, and be empowered.
You are a strong woman, right?
Yes.
So anyone that's watching right now, how can they find the inner strength? How can they just find their inner resilience?
I think that the best way to find your inner resilience is to stop comparing yourself to others. Comparison is the thief of all joy. We all have our different journeys. Your journey is not my journey. What you're doing is a beautiful thing, right? And you guys make it look so easy doing this production, right? But for me, if I wanted to do something like that, it may not be easy. I may not have the resources. So not comparing and just basically focusing on yourself.
When you were writing this book, to the version of you at that particular time, what does the growth look like from the distance between when you started writing the book to who you are?
The distance is that I am currently more healed. I am still growing because I am human. There are times where I revert back to my old self and I have to look at my book and as a reminder of no, girl, keep on pushing. So I'm a more healed version of Kazmere.
Do you mind talking about your healing journey? Just examples of what they look like or tools you use that maybe other people can find themselves and tap into.
So one thing is like asserting my no, right? And speaking up for myself and knowing that people who really love me and appreciate me, they will accept my no instead of beating myself up about feeling like I have to make everything. So, like I mentioned, I'm here in New Mexico. My family and friends there in California.
Oh,
and
yeah.
It's, if I'm invited to a baby shower or a wedding or it's Easter, I don't have to feel compelled to go, right? I can say, you know what, I'm going to sit this time out. I'll see y'all next time. And be comfortable and okay with that.
So the first time you said no to them, to Sam, what did you feel?
I felt really bad because it was Christmas.
Okay, of all the time to say no.
Right. And they know that I have to take a week off. Yeah. But I had to look at my finances. I had to look at my mental health. And I just said, I'm sorry, you all, I will not be joining. I did feel bad because Christmas is a family celebration, right? As much as it's a Jesus celebration. It was hurtful, but I felt good.
Sorry to go back home during the holidays. Well, in terms of the book, we want to get into marketing, right? So what was the first thing that you thought about in terms of marketing? Like, where did you go first?
So you know what's so interesting about that? Like I said, I originally wrote the book for myself and then for family and friends. My cousin, she has her own publication business, and she's the one who was like, no, we're doing Instagram, we're getting a website. She's the one who took the vision further than what I can imagine. Okay. So for that question, I'm just going to give all of the glory to her, and God put it on her heart, because for me, I was very small-minded, very just myself, for family and friends, whoever come across it, may they be blessed. And
so in our world, we like to talk like building a team, right? So your cousin was the first team member to really push promotion and publicity for the book, right?
Yes.
So if we go back in time, did that look like Instagram and Facebook, or was it like we're going to use email, let's build a subscriber list? Okay, let's talk about that. How did you build the subscriber?
So I built the subscriber list by first building my Instagram, making posts saying, hey, you can subscribe, you will get some successful Sunday motivation. I also bid at events, and I say, hey, you can't purchase the book right now, or you don't want to purchase the book right now, sign up on an emailing list and you can still be blessed by signing.
How long did it take you? Did you get discouraged? Because I know sometimes, especially with email marketing, you can get subscribers and then they'll fall off. You may lose 1 or 2 a week, and feel like, well, as soon as I gain, I'm losing. Was that your story as well?
No, that's not my story, because again, my cousin, she handles all that. I don't even ask those questions. In my mind, I still have the mind frame of whoever come across my content, may they be blessed. And if they don't come across, it just wasn't for right. So I don't even think about numbers. That's not where I'm at.
Okay, and I do know some others are like that, because it's more about, I guess, the purpose, or it's more about the content that you're trying to, push, which is for you, is more about personal development.
Absolutely.
Is this the career you're in also, personal development, or is it just coming from inner work that you had to do?
Yes, so personal and professional development. So I do conflict resolution right now for my job, and that is about personal development, right? Because when someone comes at you mad or with an attitude, you want to mirror their behavior, right? Yeah. But we can't, because people can't receive our message when we're aggressive, flared up, and giving attitude. So we have to bring it back and say, hey, what is my intent? What do I want them to learn from me? Okay. So yeah, that's the same thing with reflective journaling and Unfiltered Success.
I love that. If I'm new to your story, and I just shared one of the most difficult challenges in my life, what chapter in that book would you pull from to help someone who can't seem to find the right thing to do?
It's going to be staying faithful, knowing that's what's for you will always be for you, and it's not will pass you by. Staying the course, showing up for yourself every day.
And for those of you guys who, I know it sounds easy, it's easier said than done. Well, what's some ways and tips that you can give them to always keep that verse in mind and recall that when they start to have self-doubt?
So you have to remove the stinking thinking. You have to speak life into yourself. You have to be a minister of faith, a minister of trusting the process, not a surrogate of self-doubt or negative self-talk. So first, you have to do the work in yourself and speak life into yourself and actually believe that you can achieve anything you put your mind to. No, it may not be in a month. It may not be in a day. Sometimes it takes years, but focusing on just getting there. Yeah.
So long-term goals for you, are you planning to write another book? Are you going to do workshops so people can tap into you directly? Because we can read the book sometimes, but we need that coach, right? We need somebody to remind us that, we can keep pushing. So what's next for you?
So I currently have a blog on my webpage, and it's called Zealously Empowered. And you all can check it out. And it's just me writing messages to myself that empower others. I also plan on taking my book and going to domestic violence shelters and empowering women and using my book as a catalyst to basically just self-fulfillment, self-discovery, and success.
Okay. Have you tried that? Because I never thought about that before. Going into domestic violence shelters and, trying to help those women who are still kind of in the woods of what they're going through. Have you reached out or done that before?
I have not. Back in the day, I was a domestic violence certified counselor. So I've worked with the population before, but that was in California, and now I'm in New Mexico, so now I'm going to tap into that. Yeah.
What makes you afraid? And I only ask that because it's, once we say we're healed, right? Mm-hmm. It's a good place to be in. Sometimes we still have something that keeps us up at night or, makes us afraid. And I just want you to, you don't have to speak to the truth of it, but just extend to the audience that we're human and this is what I do to get through that. That might not be in the book, right?
Yes. So what makes me afraid is coming off as pretentious, as if I have it all together, I have all of the answers, which motivated me to write the book in the first place. Sharing my story, like, no, this was a process. That scares me the most because I never want to come off as I got it all together. Like I said, sometimes I'm yelling at someone because they've made me frustrated, and I have to go back and say, no, what did you write about yelling? What did you write about effective communication? What did you write about setting boundaries? What did you write about removing yourself from toxic people and toxic places to eliminate risk? So that's what I'm currently most afraid of is people thinking, oh, you wrote a book, you're an author, you got it going on. No, that's not true.
And since you brought it up, what is one tip you can give us all about yelling? Because we all kind of have to say right? We've all been here before. So, what's the tip that you can give us in the midst of the art?
What is my intent? Okay. Ask yourself, is my yelling going to get my needs met? Okay. And most of the time when we reflect, it's not, because when someone yells at me, I start ignoring them. I don't even receive the message because it's like, who are you yelling at? Yeah. So I have to go back and say, Kazmere, what is your intent? What is your purpose? Can they receive your message while you're yelling, while you're upset? Yeah. And if they can't, if the answer is no, then go back to the drawing board and talk when your emotions are calm. Sorry about that.
Because I know that's what I'm I'm gonna lock that away because I too, get to just have frustrations in life. So just at the end of the day, when the day's overwhelming, sometimes we've all been in that position. Mm-hmm. So to wrap it up, we want to talk about the positive things, right? Yeah. How does your family feel about this success? Just you starting the journey of writing the book was probably a big deal to them, but now that you're here, published. You are on different platforms, whether it's vending or on shows like this. How does your family do it?
My family, they are overjoyed, just elated. They use it as a tool themselves. Yeah. Sometimes they call me and they tell me a story and they be like, well, I did pick up your book and, I'm implementing this in my life and thank you. And even just like the random text messages like, oh, I reflected today and it helped me so much. And thank you, Kazzy. So they're overjoyed and they are happy that they can use it as a resource. Okay.
Will we get a second book?
I'm not too sure.
Okay.
Well, currently I'm just working on the blog. Like I mentioned, I just started that 2025. And then also I want to do more in-person things, get to know people in person. Like you said, that in-person connection, it really does, have more effect on healing sometimes than reading, right? So that's where I am at.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, I'm not a push. But if you have not read the book, let's let everybody know where they can find it outside of your website as well.
Yes, so you can find the book on Amazon. Again, it is Unfiltered Success, 3-minute accountability boosters. You can follow me on Instagram at Kazmere the author, and you can click the link in my bio, and it will take you to where you can purchase the book. If you ever see a turtle, a hen, a sun, that is me.
And I love the color green. That's one of my favorite colors. It's green color, but I'm not wearing pink today. So, well, thank you. Thank you so much for being a guest on Book Selling Movies podcast. You made it very, very easy and informative. I'm sure that a lot of people watching will, if they haven't learned anything from watching the show, they're definitely going to get your book, because it's very beneficial. It's something that you can apply to almost every area of your life. Absolutely. From personal to professional, whether it's at your job or if you're an entrepreneur, So thank you so much. Unfiltered Success, you guys.
Thank you. Sure. Bye, everyone.